This video will provide you with instructions for your document analysis by reviewing an example. You may use your textbook as your primary source. You will then select your secondary source from articles contained in newspapers and magazines. Remember, this can also be digital. For example, some of your secondary sources may include such sources as the Dallas Morning News, the Chicago Tribune, the New York Times, and People magazine. Remember that a primary source is the first-hand accounts or an individual's relationship to the event. This would include such things as letters, diaries, or journals relating to the specific event. Your secondary source is created by a party who is not involved in the event. This is usually an interpretation or analysis of the event. Now, first thing you'll need to do is to select a topic from the unit. Then you will select a recent article from the newspaper or magazine. The article must relate to the topic or event discussed in the current unit. You will then use your document analysis form to analyze the event. Also remember, articles should not be dated earlier than 2018. Now, for my example, I selected as my primary source the Library of Congress. So I Googled Library of Congress, and I said, okay, I'm going to focus my event from Unit 1 on Lesson 3, which is moving to the city. My focus is the migration of freed slaves. So I went to the American Odyssey. Then I said I was going to focus on the Reconstruction era, since that was within Unit 1, going through the African American Odyssey. Then I scrolled down to Reconstruction. Then I scrolled down to the Black Migration, which was called the Black Exodus to Kansas. So my event is going to be the Black Exodus to Kansas. So I then went to Google to locate my secondary source, and I put in Black Exodus in Google, and I searched for the most recent article that was later than 2018, well, 2018 or later, and this one happens to be March 6th of 2019. So I selected Black Migrations, Exodus from the South, A Matter of Freedom, and it took me to this article from US Today. So my secondary source will be this article, Exodus, Blacks Fled the South in Droves more than a century ago seeking true freedom. I then went to my 8 questions. For example, question 1 was, what kind of article is this? When was it published? Who published it? And where was it published? So all of the answers to question 1 is contained in this area. So that's how you complete your document analysis form.